we thought, hey, what if we built an AI platform, we provided data, and we could put specific data in the hands of business decision makers and government policymakers so they could actually move off of the kind of awareness about these topics and through to action. And that's really what our intent was. We wanted to keep the world's population employable, right? Help them skill for the future. And as we innovate, as technologies come into being, we're never going to stop that. We don't want to stop that. We want to stay competitive. But as we do that, people are going to be impacted. Jobs are going to be impacted, skills and tasks. So how do we make sure people are ready for that and give them a pathway to a stronger, brighter future?
So what kind of data do you use? Where do you collect it from? And how do you look at it?
Yeah, so the AI platform we built assesses kind of workforce data. Now, there's a lot of data already in Fathom that we've built out over the last 3.5 years, consuming entire census data sets, workforces in multiple countries around the world, consuming the entire ILO workforce data set, plus obviously a lot of our customers and what we're seeing in their data. But we combine that with our proprietary analytics and software and publicly available data. And then we play back to our clients new information, new insights, new data about these impacts from external forces, whether they be AI, robotics, or COVID-19. What are the impacts going to look like? How are they going to manifest themselves over time? And then that's really where the action starts, right? Now that we have those insights, the data, we can start turning them into action. I mentioned there's a lot of data already in Fathom. The occupation ontology we've built now has over 5,000 job families in it, basically covering every known job on the planet. Okay, we're not quite to the jobs on Mars yet, but every job on the planet we've got in Fathom. We've defined it across skills, knowledge, soft skills, context required to do the job, but also across every task. So every job task, what is it I do in my job? How do I spend my time? All of that underpins the platform, which I suppose on one hand means we need a lighter footprint of data from our clients. So it's really, when I say workforce data, that might sound daunting, but it's a simple set of data looking at the types of jobs in the workforce, where they work, what their compensation looks like, what their org structure looks like, even things like gender and age. Not to ever assess that with the AI. So things like gender and age never go into the AI, so there's no chance for bias to be created. It's really looking at the output. So I know where technology impact is going to manifest itself, and I can prepare for things like making sure my diversity and inclusion is maintained or is going in the right direction, that age groups in my workforce aren't materially impacted one way or another, or that I'm able to prepare different ethnicities within my workforce for this future state if they're at a higher or lower level of risk.
And I was kind of impressed. I was listening to Mike talk about it and the kind of parallelisms you found between accounting and cybersecurity, and how those jobs can transition, or if that's one pathway for transitioning. Who's using this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's I think for most HR professionals, some of the insights from Fathom can be challenging, maybe new. Not many companies out there, I would suggest, at least the ones I've met and the kind of hundreds I've met over the last couple of years, have a career path that says, "Hey, accountant, we're going to turn you into a cybersecurity analyst." Yet, if you get rid of your biases that we all naturally kind of have and build over time, and we think about the people we know in those jobs or the job titles, and just put that aside, say, okay, well, what are the skills? What does it take to do the job? The analysis capabilities, the working with numbers, and the assessments that an accountant might have. Now let's look at that cyber role. What do they need to do their job? And we start to actually do a complete skills gap analysis between any job that exists. But of course, we're looking for those with a proximity in skills, right? And if you look at soft skills needed for those jobs, some of the skills needed for those jobs, they're very well aligned. Where we see the divergence is mostly around the technology as you can imagine, side of things. So that's where then we see the focus. So that's where learning and development professionals can come with a curriculum and say, all right, I can fill that gap. In fact, we have partners in our ecosystem now, both here in Australia, but also in the US, that are filling that gap from accountancy to cybersecurity in less than 6 months. Less than
Wow.
6 months. Think about that when you are out now trying to recruit cyber roles and you can't find them. You're a bank, you're a government. I mean, every organization, every industry is trying to recruit that role. And either they're too expensive or they literally can't find them because we can't produce them fast enough. So kind of the natural, you would think, the natural response would be, well, let's look internally and see who's got a good enough skills match and then give them the curriculum they need. So it's a real pathway and one of many that we kind of uncover and showcase as clients use the platform.